Well, good morning. It's about 6:15, and I'm just leaving camp. Had a difficult night sleeping last night, but I think it was a little colder than expected. My gear is rated for 30, and I wasn't cold, but I wasn't toasty warm either. And I sleep much better when I'm good and warm. But today is a new day. It's supposed to be a little warmer today, or at least tonight. I've got about 9 miles, and I have to get South Twin, North Twin, Galehead, and then do the ascent almost to the top of Garfield to get to my campsite. So come on, let's do this. Waking up at the Guyot tent site is always a special experience, and today was no exception. Breaking camp under the cool, crystal clear skies made the morning pack-up feel effortless. Well, effortless for Pemi, who spent the entire time supervising from the top pocket of my pack to make sure his view wasn't unobstructed. The initial climb out of camp towards South Twin is a short, sharp wake-up call for the legs, but early in the morning, the air is crisp and perfect for generating that momentum. As we break above the trees toward the summit of South Twin, the reward is immediate. The view is 360 degrees, and from the peak of South Twin, the views are legendary, giving us a perfect visual map of where we've been and the massive interior valley of the Pemigewasset Wilderness. Pemi, naturally, took full credit for navigating us to the top in record time, entirely discounting the fact that my calves were doing 100% of the elevation work. But standing up here, looking out toward the horizon, I noticed the first signs of atmospheric change. The deep blue morning sky was slowly beginning to give way to a soft, high haze. Every time my phone managed to grab a single bar of cell signal along the ridge, I checked the updated mountain forecast. The atmospheric models were shifting fast, dropping hints of a powerful weather system building for tomorrow. For now, the conditions are beautiful, but in the back of my mind, the clock is officially running. We enjoy the summit, pack up our gear, and point our boots toward the long out and back trail to North Twin. Okay, Pemi, we did it. Summit number 6 left. You're right. No, 5 left. This is our 4th that we needed for the loop. We started with 9. That means we've got 5 more to go. And one of them is out that way. So we're gonna have to do an out and back. I know, I don't like out and backs either. But the views up here are really nice. There's where we came up. There's where we're going to head out when we're done. Over there you've got Lincoln, Lafayette, and Garfield. We're going to end very close to the summit of Garfield today. And then we've got to go out to North Twin and then come back. It's a bit of a haul, but gorgeous views still. It's nice that the clouds held off. Unfortunately, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Pemi, this is not the actual summit because the summit of North Twin has no views, but there's a little outlook nearby. So you want to see the views? I'll take that as a yes. So that's South Twin, where we just came from and where we have to go back to. Yeah, I know. You don't like out and backs. We got to go down, down, down. You can see the hut. And then that little bump right there is Galehead. We'll have to do another out and back there. Yeah, we got to do it. And it's even worse because there's no views. Then we got to go across this ridge line and then go up almost to the top of Garfield. And that's where we'll end for the day. Yeah, long day, 9 miles. And unlike the 12-mile day one, none of these are easy miles. Well, Pemi, this is the only outlook on Galehead, so I figure I'd pull you out here rather than at the top. You want to check out the view? All right, let's see what we got. It's just not a whole lot here, but this view of the inside of Bond and West Bond is pretty cool. There it is, summit number 3 for the day, number 6 for the weekend. Mount Galehead, no views. But I did it. Now let's get moving back down because we still got more miles to go, even though we don't have more summits. At least not for today. Took a little break at the hut. Didn't film there because there were a lot of people hanging out there. It's about 11 o'clock, maybe a few minutes after. We've got 3.3 miles to go, so I figure I'll hit the shelter by about 2, maybe sooner, but it doesn't matter what time I get there. That is my stopping point today. I am committed to it. But it's pretty easy along here most of the way. There's one viewpoint along the way, but mostly it's just ridge walk in the woods. Welcome to the Garfield Ridge Trail. If you ask any White Mountains hiker about this stretch of trail, they will all tell you the exact same thing. It isn't a trail, it's a temperamental mountain stream. And today it did not disappoint, because this section is a relentless scramble up slick, cascading rock steps. I needed both hands free to safely navigate the wet handholds, so we're switching over to the hands-free GoPro footage. To save your neck from the constant rock scanning motion, we've sped this climb up to 4 times normal speed. Watching it back like this makes it look like a video game, but I can assure you that every single foot placement was calculated with precision. The water is actively draining straight down the spine of the path, turning every boulder into a wet puzzle. Pemi had a front row seat to the splash zone from the back of the pack, occasionally chiming in with helpful advice, like, don't fall, and asking if my forward momentum could be more efficient. Carrying a heavy multi-day pack kit up a literal waterfall requires a lot of slow, methodical grinding, but the 4x speed really captures the sheer kinetic energy of fighting the gravity in the lights. As the grade finally begins to moderate, the water thins out and we pull into the Garfield shelter area in the early afternoon. We secured a spot at the tent site just as the haze completely rolled in, obscuring distant ridges. After setting up shelter, I sat down to do one final weather check before turning in for the night. The data coming through the screen is undeniable now. The forecast is deteriorating rapidly, with high winds moving into the region early tomorrow morning, along with rain. Pemi looks cozy, completely unbothered by the incoming system, but looking out into the graying trees tonight, I have a feeling tomorrow is going to be very complicated and a very difficult day on the ridge. Well, Pemi, they're packing the tents in like sardines next to us. But we're here in our hammock, snug as a bug in a rug. So, did about 9 miles today. Weather's been good, but starting to get a little cool, and there's supposed to be some rain tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a less fun day, I think. But we've only got 7 miles to the next campsite, and it's another 7 beyond that if we want to push out. But the good news is it's only about 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles past that campsite to get moving out, or to get over the ridge and start into the more protected area. So I think we're probably going to turn this 4-day into a 3-day, but tomorrow's going to be a long day. But thankfully it's going to have a lot of downhill at the end, so we'll just suck it up and drive on. So as always, thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed today's videos. And don't forget to chase your dreams, challenge your limits, and choose joy. Pemi and Asmith, out.